Hello guys and welcome to this little guide that's gonna be about how to make each head, basically each race of humans on each gender look semi-decent, okay? Because the basic ones are just don't do that. So we're gonna start with head 1, which is what my character is based upon. So if you want to see that, just click on any of my playthrough videos. You can find it. I'm playing like a ninja kind of character. We're getting into the thick of it now. We're actually starting to get some sort of build going on. So make sure to check that out if you want to see how that goes. But let's go. So first thing should be, when you're making a character, go in here, makeup, and just dump everything down. Okay? Dump everything down to 0. You don't want to see any color that's messing up your character. Here we go. And then you want to get rid of the hair. The last one is the no hair on each character. And another important thing is you want to keep your outer iris color dark. I will go into that in a little while, but just make sure to do this, because otherwise your character has no soul. Okay, so skin tone, very important. Don't go with like this. This works, but this is bad. Right, if you go with this, it will just look yellow and muddy in game. You'll look like you just got a sunburn and took a bath in a, well, in a little, what you call that in English? Puddle on the side of the road. So you don't want to do that. And it's Eastern race anyway, so you want to go with like, maybe this is not bad actually, because it puts some yellow in the skin. But generally you want to keep it pretty pale, like around here. Okay, want to keep it gray-ish looking. Because in game, there's a lot of colors and it will look weird. So bro height, we want to get this down. Almost fully down. Already she's looking a lot better. Bro depth, want to give her some bro. Because Eastern faces have like none, but we still want some on her face. There we go, like that. And we can go over to cheek. Now, cheek height is pretty good to begin with, but you can amp it up a little more to make her more attractive, because of course, high cheekbones make people more attractive in general. Cheek width, this is preference, but if you want to make her look decent on animations, you want to go at least like between 8 and 12 here. I'll go with like a skinnier version with an 8. So there we go. Cheekbone width. You don't want to go too overboard again, because animations will look weird. So keep it around 10 again. Basically the same as it was. Chin. Okay, important. So the Eastern face is actually kind of down there. On most of the faces, what you want to do is lower the chin down and then drag the whole face down with the chin, because most faces don't really have a good chin on them, but this girl does. So you want to get it down, but not much, like 9 or 8 at most. Okay, don't want to drag the chin down too much. It's already down there, so it's pretty good. Chin depth, again, don't want to give it too much. Like a 14, 13 maybe, around there. Okay, want a cute little chin. Now this is where you can go a little bit creative. If you want a more masculine lady, go with that. If you want a generally speaking attractive woman, then you want to amp that down, give her a little pointed chin like that, makes her more feminine. Okay, this is true for all the female faces really. Jaw width, you want to amp this up a little bit. You don't want to make her Angelina Jolie like that. You don't want to go too skimpy like that, because then he looks like she looks like a boy. Yeah, she'll turn into a he when you do that, so don't do that. Probably around like 14 to 12 is good. The basic is decent, but to make animations look a little bit better and just give your, got a little more character, go for like a 14 or something, 15. It will look pretty good. Okay, so there we go. Jaw width up, and then here we go. Eyes. Again, on most characters, you want to drag it down like way too much, and then drag, the whole face with the chin. But because we didn't do that on her, you don't want to do that too much. Like drag it down to like 7 maybe. Eye depth. Also, when you're doing the eyes, a very good point of interest on the face is this little crease. Can you see that right there? That angle? So you want your eye to be right in the center of that. Okay, so right there. See that? Looks much more natural than this. Because that's a bone right there, and your eye socket is right below that bone, right? So you want to put your eye below the bone, not on it. Make sense? Okay, so you want it like 6 or 7, works fine. Eye depth is pretty good on the Eastern eyes, but you want to get it down a little bit to like a 7 or an 8. Because generally, the animations are a little bit overboard on the eyes, so you want to give them some depth, so they get more shadow, and they don't look as soulless and weird as they do. Eye width is again pretty good. Don't want to mess with this too much. You can make the eyes wider a little bit, but it's good on 10, basically, so you can just leave that. Mouth, okay. You want to get this down. Sorry, I almost choked. You want to get this down pretty low, because animations again are very overboard and it will look super weird. And here is when you drag the mouth down to meet up with the chin being dragged like that. Don't care about the nose yet. We'll care with that in a second. Mouth depth, I guess you can leave it if you want, but again, because of animations, I usually drag it down to like an 8 or 9 to make it less prominent. And then mouth width, again, a little bit narrower, okay? Again, because of the animations being as weird as they are. Nose height, you want to drag the nose down along with the mouth. Nose depth is pretty good, I guess. If you want to make her cuter, you can drag that down a little bit, make her younger looking. But I generally leave it around 10. They have a pretty stumpy nose, Eastern women anyway, so that's not bad. Nose, we actually dragged it down a little too much, but whatever. Nose width, again, make her cuter, make her more, well, ugly. So around like an 8 or 9 is generally good. And you want to get the size down a little bit as well. So there. Pretty cute nose. There we go. And after that, we can go into hair. So this is 100% preference, whatever you want. But in general, I think this hair looks pretty good on her. It's very like, you know, Japanese, Chinese kind of, you know, Vietnamese short women's hairstyle. It's not bad. I don't think you should go for any like the emo ones, like the side spread ones. They don't look that good on this face, I don't think. Ponytail works, it's not bad. This is just, don't do this on any girl, come on. Why would you? 5 is decent actually. If you make like a in-your-face shotgun lady, I think this could work on her pretty well. But yeah, this is actually very nice. It's like kind of a schoolgirlish, makes her look very young. So yeah, I would suggest this, probably. Let's go with that. Okay, let's go with this, because why not? And you definitely want a black hair. You don't want to go with any like bright colors, because the shadows work very weird on them. I guess the red is kind of cool looking. But yeah, the shadows work very weird on like these colored hairs for some reason. And if you do want to go for colored hair, you want to go for one that's like, that has a lot of different colors in it. Like this one, see, has like almost white there and purple and blue. You don't want to go with like this, right? It's just blue all across, nothing interesting in it, because it will look really dull and lifeless in game. But in general, these colors here are pretty good. And because we're making like an Eastern character, we want to go with a almost black or black hair. So that's what they have usually. All right, eyes. Here we go. Very important. So the main reason why the characters look so dead in this game, in my experience, is because the eyes are not colored correctly. Okay, watch what happens. Okay. she has no soul. She looks like a robot, doesn't she? Is because, generally speaking, most corneas will, or not corneas, sorry, iris will have dark on the outside, and then have a pretty dark color as well around the pupils. The more prominent you make the pupils look, the more inhuman she'll look, right? Look at that. The more the pupils pop out, the more inhuman she'll become. So to avoid that, I will show this to you with blue eyes, because it's the hardest to get it with blue eyes. Look at that already. She's getting more and more soul. So you want a pretty dark color inside to almost match the pupil, right? So something like along those lines. And then for the outer color, you want an almost black color, like that. Look at that. See, all of a sudden she got soul, right? She looks more human. You can mess around with this to make it like your exact need. But yeah, generally speaking, you want to blend the pupil with the iris. You don't want a bright color, because that, look at that. She'll become like a serial killer, okay? So this is where most people go wrong, and their characters just look lifeless and horrible. The eye animations are really weird in the game, same with the mouth, so you really want to compensate for as much of that as you possibly can. So I would suggest darkening the eyes for sure, getting a little more life into her. I will show you with brown eyes again, like it works perfectly fine. See, give her like a color like, I don't know, like this. And then outer color, go to brown, and something along those lines. Look again. See? Lifeless, life. So that's about it, really, on the eyes. Now, makeup. Eastern women don't have eyelashes, right? You can't see them. Not eyelashes, sorry, eyelids. You can't see their eyelids like you can on Western women and European women. So because of that, we need to compensate for it and make her eyes a little more prominent. I usually go with eyeliner 2 on her, and then eyeliner color, you want black. Just go full black, okay? There we go, it already makes her eyes pop a little bit more. So basically you want your upper eyelid to have some sort of eyeliner. You can go with whichever you want. I prefer the second one, but again, it's your choice. Eyeshadow, very important. You want the style like this, okay? Again, above the eyes to make it more depth. Make it have more depth, sorry. And you want it pretty serious, like 8 or 7. And then, again, black. Look at that, how much that changed her eyes, right? That's maybe a little too much. Okay, 7 is good. See there? Okay, watch. Without it. With it. Without it. And with it. Okay? Gives her eyes more depth. Again, to try and compensate for the weird animations. Now, lipstick, your choice. 100%. Don't go too crazy on the gloss, because it will look really weird on game. Go with tops a 3 or a 2. Don't go with that though, because it will just look like you have plastic on your mouth. It's not nice. And for color, with lipstick you generally want to almost match the mouth, so dark like that works nicely with like basically any color, really. But you definitely want to go dark-ish kind of color. And you can always just go Star Wars with that. So this is your preference. I usually go with either none or this one because it looks kind of cool. But yeah, your choice again, whichever you want. Darkening the mouth a little bit is generally a good thing. So you want to like grab a nice red color and give her mouth some colorization so she doesn't look as dead as without it. Blush, we can go for a little bit just for with the one and go with like a very light, just a sorry, I keep fucking choking on my saliva, Jesus. Okay, 0.1 and just a very soft blush, and you want to almost match up the skin color with a little bit more red. Very subtle, but it makes all the difference in game, so try and go with something like this, okay? And then we're done. this is entirely preference. Scars, whatever you want. Tattoos, whatever you want. One thing I would suggest though, if you go for scar, make it less intense, because it looks like a gash if you don't do that. It doesn't look like a scar, it looks like it just, her face was ripped in half, okay? So go with something like that, look more subtle. But that's pretty much it, guys. So there we go. A more life full, I don't even know if that's a word, it is now. And a generally more attractive female out of the head one of the female section. So, just to show you the difference we made. Original, ours. Okay? Original and ours. Hope you guys see the difference. Hope you like it. If you do, please send me your pictures of your take on the female head one. And yeah, dudes, see you with head 2, which is gonna be... it's gonna be a tough one. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you in the next one. And as always, have a good one. Peace. Bye-bye.